The records are now open. Welcome everyone to another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. Thank you for joining me right here every single Wednesday at noon Pacific on the Akashic Academy Facebook page for this sacred time that we are spending together. I have been traveling since we last joined together in this most sacred space, and I am so excited to share the overflow with each and every one of you. Please say hello once you get here. Those of you who hang out, you know how it goes. We like to begin creating the powerful space by illuminating our awareness of our powerful lights as they are spreading all over the planet. Please let us know where you are from when you are tuning in. I'm going to take a moment and share this with some friends. Invite some friends to come and join us today. Last weekend, I was in Encinitas with Miss Amanda Marie Masters, who was conducting an incredibly powerful retreat. I had the opportunity to meditate, activate, perform research with some of the most advanced light workers that I have ever been graced to be in a room with all at the same time. I can tell you the circuits were blowing. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited to show up with you guys here today, because there's a lot of energy to share. We did so much work in the quantum realms together. There were amazing light workers there joining us. This is what I really want to focus on and share with you guys today. Bring the awareness to the individual unique gifts. Speaking of those amazing light workers, Casey Ray Connolly is in the house. What's up, Casey? Casey is the geneticist who was performing the experiments that we got to take part in the Faraday cage to have our consciousness measured. How incredible to be in the presence of light workers who own their unique gifts, skills, and abilities. That is what I would love to bring in for each one of you guys today. I won't be able to connect with each one of you individually on this broadcast, but I'm setting the intention right now that you're going to receive the connection, the activation that is designed for you today. I'm still trying to share this out with a couple of friends. I do not see it popping up in my feed yet. So I'll ask you guys to please share this out. Share this out to your friends, your family, those Facebook groups that you like to frequent. There is somebody in your world who needs this information today. Sharing is caring, as they say. By the way, the more we join together, the more we gain energy in this group, the more you show up and receive, the more space we're creating in abundance to receive together. So bring a friend into this space to open and expand today. In addition to Casey, our geneticist that we had in the house, we had advanced mathematicians in the house. We had advanced, I would call them linguists in the house. There's a lot of information coming in right now about vocabulary, whether it's coming in the way that I'm speaking and conversing back and forth with all of you right now, or if it's in a more symbolic form, such as light language and symbols. It was an incredibly powerful experience for us all to be getting upgraded there together. Because let me tell you something, you all ain't healers, okay? We're all thinking about our special gifts. I can't tell you how many, don't take it the wrong way. Truthfully, we're all healers, but we're not all healers in the way that we think we're healers. So this is what we're going to dive into today. I can't tell you how many people come to me. I feel like I'm a healer. I want to be a healer. I want to help other people heal. Friend, if your life is a shit show, you're not a healer, okay? It's okay. There are other things you can be good at, all right? Here's the thing. We're all healers. We can all only ever heal ourselves anyway. Our purpose, our mission is to find our happiness, to find our curiosity, to find ways that we can expand in bringing our own creativity to our curious passions. Because when you bring creativity and curiosity into an area where you love to hang out, you love to learn, you love to expand, that's where you are going to start bringing in advanced level knowledge, advanced level information from the Akashic field, no doubt. And you're going to be able to help others with your gifts. Okay? This is how Casey is showing up on the planet. She is advancing her knowledge, her gifts, her skills, her curiosity, because she's found her passion in life. And her research and her speaking of her mission and connecting with others and sharing it is helping the planet. In essence, it's healing the planet. But I want to encourage you to look beyond the traditional aspect of how we look at ourselves as healers. Because this idea of healer, light worker. We got to get more specific with the areas that we're excited about. Like I said, we had a divine mathematician in our group. So I want to dive in and help bring illumination to your specific soul blueprint today, your areas of expertise, your areas of passion and interest. I can tell you, for those of you who would like to participate, would like a reading, would like me to connect with your records today and share what I'm seeing, let's get the comments going. I want to hear from those of you who are ready to hear this information. However, I will tell you, if you will own a part of your life, don't just show up and say, me, Emily, I want me. Tanya, you did great. Thank you. See, you guys are doing it great. You're giving me a great example to be like, don't do that. I didn't give you all the instructions yet, so you get to take 2, okay? Don't just show up and say me. Brittany, yes, okay? Mediumship. She's owning that she wants to get in there for mediumship, okay? Whatever it is for you, I want you to let me know specifically, and I want to bring in some more specific insight from the records other than just saying, yep, mediumship for you. Yep, Rachel, animal communication for you. I want to, Hakan's kidding. Thank you so much for being willing to play in this space, Hakan. I'm going to make sure that I go back in and look for your comment. Let me know what areas that you are excited to illuminate. Those of you who hang out here, you know we don't just get information, but we do activations here in this space. We bring in powerful energy from the Akashic Records. If you are new, thank you for listening to me rant a little bit before I actually told you what the Akashic Records are. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness where all information, past, present, all possible futures, have been recorded. From a perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment, not the way we're experiencing our life down here, through our very human polar experiences, okay? From a very, very high perspective. My goal today is to hold space for every single one of you who are ready to step into that blueprint, that you are going to receive a powerful upgrade just by being in this energy, being in this presence here today. And I also want to share with you, if any of the information that I am speaking resonates with you, however, I'm not speaking directly to you, please receive that message as for you and receive the upgrades that are associated with it. All right, I'm going to dive in here and grab a couple of places to start. All right, Brittany talked about mediumship. All right, so Brittany, I'm just going to go in. This is for anybody who's owning mediumship right now, and this is what you want to connect into. I'm going to go in right now. Brittany says, mediumship needs to be illuminated and heightened because there is a lot of misrepresentation out there. It's also a very important that this gift get to light so that people don't fear it. Yes, 100% agree. All right, thank you, Brittany, for speaking that truth and for standing in that truth and holding that space for mediumship. For those of you who are showing up and you're new and you're learning, mediumship is generally thought of as the ability to communicate with loved ones, specifically loved ones who have passed. Mediumship can also be looked at, and granted, there are no 100% concrete definitions that you are going to find. Every single teacher, healer is going to speak about all of these different concepts in exactly the same way. Okay, so you're allowed to have your own little different definition. Mediumship can also be looked at as channeling. When you become a medium, you're basically using your body as a vessel to bring forward knowledge and information. similar to being a channel, right? So that's why we begin to separate the minutiae, the differences. Generally, we look at mediumship as communicating with loved ones, our loved ones who have passed, and we look at channeling as bringing in messages or insights from interdimensional beings that haven't necessarily been in a human avatar recently. All right, we got the Jesus and the Buddha who have come into human avatars. It hasn't been so recently. All right, going back in for that mediumship, Brittany. Your mediumship is really coming alive in color alchemy. And so what does this mean? It means that I'm seeing a lot of purple and a lot of green energy. It's like I'm looking into a crystal ball. I don't always look into a crystal ball, but that's how they're showing and presenting the energy to me right now, Brittany. So there's a lot of that magic, magician, Merlin, Melchizedek, the Yeshua energy, the ancient alchemist coming up, and that purple is really, purple and green definitely associated with that. Purple associated with Melchizedek and the Saint Germain violet flame energy, where the green we tend to associate with Archangel Raphael, who is definitely a healer angel. So giving that healer energy mix in there. So any of you guys who are working with mediumship right now, I want you to allow to be infused into your conscious awareness right now. So into your imagination, visually just begin to dance with these colors, the purple and the green. And if you have to engage your imagination, meaning stoke the fires a little bit, you have to feed it, you have to make it up, you got to give it a little push, go ahead and do that. Don't be afraid to do that. That's how you get the energy going and moving. And I want you to take it from moving here just up in the head area and swirling it, moving it all through the body. And what's happening is we begin to witness ourselves as color in this way. We begin to meld the barrier of the human, of the physical 3D human body, and we begin to witness ourselves more quantumly, more on the quantum field. When you begin to witness yourself and your energy as color, vibration, sacred geometry, harmony, sound, you begin to access the quantum field much more dynamically. So allow this color to spin all the way from head to toe. And then I want you to give that color a sound frequency, or those colors. You might have multiple colors dancing in there. And there's no right or wrong sound frequency. I just want you to imagine. Maybe you hear a harmonic frequency that sounds like tones. Maybe you hear a buzzing sound. There's no right or wrong thing. Just engaging your imagination and the awareness. And see if you can disappear the boundary of the human body right now and just be present with the color, the sound, the harmony, and the vibration. And this is designed to quantumly up-level and activate your energetic field to begin more powerful connection with your mediumship, Brittany, and anyone else who is receiving this, the mediumship. We're super quantum right now. They're going to get really, and super woo-woo, they're going to get really grounded for us here in a second. So just hang with me. It's kind of like a two-step process. We're being adjusted on the quantum, but then to embody this, that's something else you got to do. There's a little homework you got to do, okay? You just finish moving the energies through. Okay, bring your awareness back into the physical body now. Begin to move the body around a bit just so you can bring yourself back in touch with the physical body. If any of you are driving right now, by the way, when you're doing this, I don't want to do that. Come back, watch the replay later. One thing that I used to do when I was driving, because I did love to listen to a lot of spiritual talking while I was driving, you can duplicate your consciousness, send it over to a mountaintop to hang out and do this work. And trust that you're getting it. But stay focused on, if you're operating heavy machinery, stay focused on what's ahead of you, because this energy does tend to make you feel a little high, which is a good thing. Okay, thank you all for receiving that. If you received that activation into mediumship, please say yes, so I know that I just know who to keep into my awareness and hold that space for. Kenzel said her head is itching and buzzing. Good energy moving in the crown right there. Here's how I want to bring you, I want to invite you to bring this in, to embody this, the step 2. You must begin to recognize, how is mediumship going to shift things in your life? Lamora says, yes, it did. Thank you, Lamora. I see you. I'm going to hold that space as you develop in your mediumship. This is a great skill to bring the planet. I see you, Brittany. Yes. I want you to begin, Kinzel. Yes, I see you. Ooh, yes, I feel it. Crystal, yes, I see you. Thank you all. Caitlin, welcome. Glad you're here. Danielle, yes. Swirling energy, yes. Here is step 2. You've got to begin to bring in right now in this moment, recognize how honing this skill, being a master at this skill, is going to shift and change your life. Pamela, I see you. Yes. Nice. Okay? I want you to feel right now in this moment. Think about, feel, bring as much of your imagination into as possible. How does this change the basic things that we all have need for? Our health, our wealth, our relationships, our career goals, our career drive. Lizzie's feeling it, buzzing in her head. Linda's feeling it. Hi, Linda. I'm glad you're here. Lorne, I see you. Ashley, I'm glad you're here. Okay? Here's the next step. I want you to continue to expand that energy, that buzz, that energy that you're feeling right now. We have to weave it into our real life. Okay? Weave it in right now. When you get very powerful in mediumship, how does that change your own personal health? Perhaps you have family members who have crossed over, who have left their bodies, left their experience in this life because of a physical dis-ease in their body. Perhaps that's carried in the genetic lineage. Many of us, actually all of us, just like we're all healers and we're not all healers, like I said in the beginning. You're not all healers. Some of you are researchers and mathematicians and you're going to heal the planet like that, okay? So get happy about it. We're all healers of our own experience. All definitely healers of our own experience. We're all also designed to shift our ancestry. So for those of you who are shifting medical issues, physical dis-ease that are medical, genetic, perhaps, issues in your family, this is a really powerful way to begin to embody how this skill is going to help you. If you don't know how this skill is going to help you, yes, Casey, it is a learned skill. All of our psychic abilities can be turned and trained and turned on. Absolutely 100%. Granted, we have, it's just, think of it as like sports, right? If you train enough in any sport, you're going to get better at it. There are going to be some things that you are naturally better at than others, but 100% it is a learned skill that you can learn and adapt. Okay? Back to this idea of embodying. You got to get specific about how it's going to up-level you, or you're not going to get there. How many of you have these great high vibe visions? Some of us are more clear than others. Some of us are like, yes, I know what I want to do. Like Brittany, I want to do mediumship. Like Casey. Like Crispy, who we hung out with this weekend. Right? Some of us are like, I don't know. It's something big. I feel it. I don't know what it is, but I'm called to something big. I love that I'm standing up today because then I can like embody more of this. I can act out a little bit more of it for you guys. So many of us are feeling this call, this pull, that there's more. This is because there's knowledge out there, and knowledge is the equalizing energy, what brings us all to the same level. And you have access to all of the knowledge in the cosmos. We're learning about this. You may not know this yet. You may be just turning on to this fact. But human beings have the ability to access every single bit of knowledge in the cosmos, past, present, all possible futures. When you learn to dive in like this, no one can lie to you. You can't lie to yourself. That's why. Because you can't lie to yourself anymore. Okay? I got a little bit sidetracked about where, oh yes, back to embodying. It's part of why I'm up and moving today. You got to embody it. Okay? So figuring out how this is going to help you in these areas is what fills the gap. There we go. So many of us have these big dreams, these big aspirations, various degrees of clarity, but we feel like we want to step into something big, but we just can't seem to get there. You know why? Because you haven't allowed yourself to, one, go into the quantum, generate that energy, get it moving through your body in color, sound, vibration, frequency, light, and then use your brain, your imagination, your construction here, this amazing machine that you have here, to connect it and wire it into how it matters in your life. So those of you with health issues, how does mediumship adjust your health? Maybe you don't have health issues. Maybe you want to advance knowledge in the health field. How does it affect your finances? Hello, Miss Joyce Ann. When you have expertise in a particular area that can help other people, and when we all learn to step into higher levels of abundance, and the money is circulating, the abundance, the resources are circulating. It's not just about money. Again, our concepts of money are a little bit skewed like our concepts of healers. Money is an energy that is a resource that's here to support us, and our relationship with money is just like any other relationship that we have on the planet. But we've tweaked it. You guys agree? We've tweaked it. We might have little areas to work ourselves out there, but we're getting there. What would it mean to you to not have to go to work at a job that you don't want to go to, rather getting paid for your particular gifts, skills? Think reciprocity. Who gives a shit if we're using money or if we're using trade or what it is that we're using? Reciprocity. What if you were valued to the degree that you guys know that you value yourself, but that your specialized skills and knowledge were recognized and valued and needed here on the planet? Wouldn't that be badass? Wouldn't that be badass if we could all make up our own jobs and figure out how to assist humanity with them and get paid well for them? Well, what do you think we're doing? We're doing it. We're doing it, but we're making that shift. So I want you to begin to embody, think about, what does your life look like? If you're not going slaving away anymore, when you're free, and that's another thing, money really, truly, for most of us means freedom. What does this mean to your relationships? I can tell you, I have cool ass relationships with every person in my life, or I don't really have relationships with those people. They're just not in my awareness. If you're a person who's in my awareness, we have a special thing. I love all of you. When I show up in relationships, and I haven't always been this way, I haven't always been able to show up and be myself and be fully present, because there's either shit going on in the background, or I'm not confident or comfortable in my skin, or a million of reasons why, as human beings, it's easier to not show up and be present, go deep with somebody. Is that person not getting my attention right now? I've had to go very deep in my life and strip away the layers of programming that have caused me to feel uptight about myself and who I am and what I'm... all of the things that we get all uptight for, right? The Akashic Records of what have been the tool that have allowed me to strip away the programming and really witness myself. Because the records are recorded from a perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment, from God's perspective. So when I move into the records and I begin examining myself in my life, I'm not seeing it through my own perspective. I'm seeing it through the perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. Megan Kirk in the house. What's up, sister? Hi, Vita's in the house too. Welcome. When you begin to witness yourself without all of the judgments, you begin to shift and change. Your DNA becomes naturally bioluminescent. This is a really, really powerful self-actualization tool, because most of us as human beings do not have a process or an experience where we can truly witness ourselves from this quantum perspective. Yeah, you might have a really good friend and God bless you if you do, who can hold space for you, who can help you when you're feeling down, who maybe even counselors, right? Counselors professionals who help us move through the emotional and the physical trauma and deprogramming that we go through. But when you can bring a quantum level adjustment to that as well, when you can quantumly shift your energy field, which is required because the emotional work that you do and the physical body work that you do does not release unless you have awareness of energetically moving the memory and the program of all of the data that comes in through your system, your shit's gonna come back up. So it's really important that we bring this multidimensional aspect to our healing, right? All right, let's get in there and do one more activation for stepping into our gifts, skills, and abilities today. I wanna scroll back here and find one more that we can dive into. Let's see. Cindy Coleman in the house. Hi, what's up, Claire? I know I talked so much that I have to scroll back really, really far to find some. Oh, here somebody just came in. I want to connect with Soul. Oh, Linda says, I want to connect with Soul Star brothers and sisters in the physical often and meeting one. Okay. That's very interesting. I'm very synchronous. Thank you very much, Linda, for bringing that in, because in addition to this topic of finding your specific skills, finding your gills. Some of us have lungs, some of us have gills, you know. We all have a little bit differences than our DNA. In addition to diving into our skills, it was illuminated in my awareness to weave in the talk of our extraterrestrial starseed ancestry, as well as our interdimensional starseed ancestry. So let's talk a little bit about the differences between extraterrestrial and interdimensional, okay? Because again, you're going to find that there are a lot of different interpretations. This is my interpretation. I encourage you to find what makes sense for you, and I think it's helpful to believe nothing, consider everything. Just because you find what's helpful for you doesn't necessarily mean that you've found the be-all, end-all. You've just found a truth that works for you in that moment. If you attach too strongly to any one truth when you find it, you'll not be able to grow beyond that truth. And we're always growing, we're always shifting. Cycles are a natural part of things. So expect that whatever truth you have right now might be different, because that's the way truth works, okay? So let's talk about extraterrestrial beings. Breaking down the word extraterrestrial means off planet, okay? Meaning the ones that live on Mars, the ones that live on Venus, the ones that live out there on other planets, the ones that we think of as having physical location in our galaxy. Okay, Andromedans, Pleiadians, that sort of a thing. Now, extraterrestrials can also be interdimensionals. This is like squares can be rectangles, but rectangles can't be squares. Okay? But let's keep it simple first. Beings that are physically located in other areas of our galaxy where we human beings have ventured out and scientifically researched, and we can say, oh yeah, Mars is right there. Mars is not interdimensional. It's right there in our solar system. Now, there are interdimensional aspects of Mars, but I'm talking about the one in our solar system. This is where we generally tend to classify extraterrestrial beings. Interdimensional beings mean that just like there's all of this space here around me, and you can see my mirrors and my pictures, you can see the physical of what's here. There's interdimensional space, layers of space and time, all laid on top of each other that we can't see here. And of course, we know just because we can't see it doesn't mean that it's not here. We've got radio waves, microwaves, we've got all that stuff, right? Interdimensional beings travel through the different dimensional layers of the electromagnetic spectrum, or the energy that's all around us here. Okay, so interdimensional beings, the ones that I generally think of first are the beings within Mount Shasta, because you guys know I went to Shasta recently and just I've been doing some traveling to some sacred vortexes recently and just really blown away by all of my experiences. Very grateful for them. But being at Shasta, inside Mount Shasta is an interdimensional 5D city of light called Mount Telos. And this is a meeting point for how many dimensional layers are there? I think 12 is generally how we think of it, but there's also, depending on if you do the 12 times 12 and the 144 and the layers of the multiverse, which is a little beyond my understanding. Casey, we're gonna need Crispy, our friend, to dive in and figure that out. But we're basically working with 3, 4, 5 dimension number 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay, so the ascended masters that gather in the city of Telos inside Mount Shasta are incredibly powerful beings. As the story goes, these are refugees from mostly ancient Lemuria, but they might have let a few Atlanteans in. I don't know. If there was a little Romeo-Juliet story going on between an Atlantean and a Lemurian, when it all went down, they might have let one in or two. I don't know. Generally, this is the Lemurian lineage. And this 5D city is thriving and functioning beautifully, interdimensionally inside of the planet. And these beings do want to emerge and begin working with humans as we make this crossover and bring these ideas of interdimensional cities and civilizations, embodying this more, right? Not just talking about it, not just having cool places on the internet like this to come hang out, not just going to cool retreats, but begin to live a lifestyle where this is fully integrated. And these beings are coming forward to assist with that right now. Okay, Linda said, I was told we were anchoring in the 13th the other night. Yes, I do think that there are above the 12. So if you are excited to know more about how that works, I have to say the Akashic Records will begin to reveal that information for you. The records reveal the information through the being who has the desire and curiosity to know and uncover it, and who has the drive, really. That's why we got to figure out what does this mean to you in your life. That's what's going to begin to really ignite a natural drive in you. Those of you who find that you don't have enough motivation, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're a procrastinator. It might be. It might be a little bit because of that. It's because you haven't implanted it within your body yet. As soon as you implant a vision within your body, you nourish it, it's going to grow, it's going to take over. And if you haven't found yourself in wild, passionate, exciting inspiration and motivation, it's because you haven't energetically figured out the right formula. It's really all about figuring out the formulas. I promise you can do it, but we get so stuck in our old patterns. We resist the formulas. Okay? Pamela got bumped out. I'm glad you're back. Nice. All right, so let's talk a little. I want to give you just a little bit of knowledge and insight. Let me tell you a little bit more about the 5D city of Mount Telos, and then I'll give you a little bit of starseed ancestry about what I know of the different starseed races that are very present. This won't be all of them, but I'll just give you a quick little overview. Also, we will do an activation to connect with, Lorny Lee, dolphins, yes. Dolphins and whales, while they are physical creatures here on the planet, they hold the most ancient strands of DNA ever. And I do believe that they have the ability to cross through dimensionally. Okay? So what else is going on inside the mountain? These beings do not have waste, so they have created a society where not only are they growing, procuring enough, just the right amount of food where there's plenty of abundance, but there is no waste. They figured out how to create this non-waste throughout their entire civilization. They do a little what I do on this one. They make their own jobs. They figure out what they're good at, how they want to show up. They take time to dive in, to study, to research, to get better at those mystical, magical skills, which are not so mystical and magical there in that land, because everybody's working in those powerful energies. And they figure out how to show up and connect and serve. They don't work all goddamn day. Pardon my French. You guys know I speak French. But I don't like to, Jesus and God. I grew up very Southern Baptist, so I still feel a little cringe if I take the Lord's name in vain or say goddamn or something like that. Whales are the ancient record keepers. Yes, absolutely. They don't work all day. I do have a tendency to work long, and I am running over today. So we'll just continue to roll with it, but I will wrap up quickly for you guys. I do tend to dive into work way more than my Telos sisters. Linda says, I speak French. This is something that they have in incredible balance, and it allows them to fuel the level of technology, creativity, and expansion. So recognize that overworking yourself is not really doing anybody any good. Yes, I hear myself speaking that. They've eradicated the majority of disease, and their research teams are less focused on finding issues for their disease, and they're more focused on new technologies that they can bring in. So we can expect eventually that shift in society too, as we all become the healers that we are. Our society will eventually not have the same medicinal needs. Our medicinal needs, our collective needs will shift. So they've already moved through a lot of that level of shifting. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other starseed lineages that we have. Of course, we have the Palladians. The Palladians are a fifth dimensional light city colony, 7 stars, a 7-star system constellation up there in the galaxy. The Palladians are known to be very, very connected with Earthlings. They're known to be very, very attractive beings. They don't all have to be, but this is just how they're known. They're known for having a lot of compassion and being our direct ancestors in terms of they're us in the future. They are how we want to, that's what we're aiming for. We're going for Palladian next. All right. There are a lot of different ways that their society continues to grow and that they interact. They do have familial family soul groups the way that we do. However, the same dynamics of marriage and relationship are a little bit different up there in that space. The Palladians are the ones who are like, all right, humans, we're here. We're going to help you. We love you very much. We know you're falling on your face. We got you. They almost have an endless, I almost call it tolerance for the shit that we keep going through over and over, the karmic cycles, because they've been through it very recently. Let's talk about the Andromedans next, or the ones that are coming in. Andromedans are smart. Here's what goes on in the Andromedan collective. This is a ton about wisdom and education. The beings, as they move through their life cycle, and granted, I'm using human terms to put it into a framework that we can understand. As they move through their life cycle, which can be a couple thousand years, they focus on educating their beings on every piece of knowledge that is available. So your ass, if you ain't a lifelong learner, you want to stay the hell out of Andromeda, because they're going to keep your ass in school forever. Can you imagine what an enlightened space this would be if we all took the time to learn everything? Now, they don't learn quite the same way that we learn. It's not as dense of a process. It doesn't take quite as long to get through Algebra 1 up there as it do down here. I'm just saying, okay? They're learning a different way. Just like most of these light beings do not communicate with verbal language the way that you and I are communicating back and forth. That is way too slow for them. They either communicate in telepathy, which is a mental communication back and forth between the third eye, but sometimes they connect with lights. Like if the body or their vessel, their spacesuit, whatever's carrying around their conscious soul, is a bioluminescent and engineered organism, they can light up a little purple here, a little blue here, a little, I don't know exactly. Feel like you're in the disco up in the club. And then instantly you have knowledge transferred back and forth between the two of you. All right, so there's more than one way to transfer knowledge. When you are making love to somebody, you are transferring knowledge back and forth between that person. So there are many ways that we can go about transferring knowledge back and forth. And so there are ways that we can go about learning and absorbing knowledge as well. So when you begin to learn every damn thing that's available, you become a very, very enlightened race and a very enlightened being. We have others, such as the Arcturians, who are very specialized medical teams. And they work with non-invasive procedures. Lasers are the closest thing that human beings think. But this is think more crystalline technology, as sci-fi, as advanced, as Star Trek-y as you can get with it. I promise you, you're not making shit up. We don't make shit up. We think that we're making things up in our mind. That is just your human ego telling you that you did something. Your brain is constantly sending and receiving messages and information. So when you recognize that a thought, especially a random crazy one, just came in, you're picking up signals from the universe, which is why you want to make sure you keep yourself at a very high vibrational level, because you're going to pick up these signals from the same vibrational platform of where you are, and you don't want to pick up the dense low ones. That's why you want to come hang out. You want to learn to manage your energy. You want to grow and harness your gifts and skills, which truly, guys, truly we're going to do the connection for our starseed ancestry before we go. But truly, the connection that you want to have is deeply with yourself in every single moment. If you will show up and stay connected and present to yourself in every single moment, you can facilitate whatever you want on the quantum level from that space. Okay, let's bring in an activation right now for those of you who want to connect more. And Linda, this is really important, by the way, because Linda full on said, I want to see y'all's ass. Come on out. I had a lot of bad words today. Sorry. Linda fully called him out. She's like, I want to see you standing in my yard. One of the big reasons why there has not been this level of massive disclosure and penetrance of those dimensional veils is because when you're afraid, and I really love this alien talk, but I gotta say, man, when I go outside to let my dogs out at night, if one comes down into my yard right there in that moment, I'm gonna be a little scared for a second. I'll get myself back together. But when your fear comes up, there is an energetic, magnetic response that we don't want to infiltrate the planet with a lot of that fear. So until we can get really comfortable and we can get into the place where we can usher that without the fear, it's better that we communicate with them interdimensionally. Okay? Also, for you personally, if you have a moment where all of that fear comes up in you and you have a lot of fear left inside of you, it's like, who's heard of the string theory in quantum physics? Here's my string theory. I think of the magician who's got like all of those handkerchiefs tied together. Oh, kind of like my shirt. All of the handkerchiefs tied together, and you pull and just keeps coming, keep going. All your fear is going to come unraveling out in front of you in that moment. And that's going to require some counseling. It's going to set you back a few steps, like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So be aware that this is a great reason why they haven't just ripped their mask off, said, I'm here, we're here. Because it still scare the shit out of the rest of us who have not achieved and mastered our interdimensionality yet, where we can teleport right and left. We're going to get there. be respectful of the state of the process that we're in. Okay, let's bring through an energetic transmission for us right now to connect with your starseed ancestor. I went over just a very, very few of them. There are many different starseed ancestors out there. We had a couple of them pop up. I see Lyrian and Sirius, yes, and Ness, yes. Sirius coming through big time right now. The star system Sirius, because it is the 2-star constellation Sirius A and Sirius B. Powerful, powerful presence with our alignment with them over Lionsgate. All right, yeah, so just bringing in the golden pyramid right now to do this activation for you. So I want you guys to all just imagine yourself standing inside, like 3D inside the golden pyramid. And as you're standing inside of this pyramid, you're imagining this one pyramid on top. I want you to duplicate that pyramid and flip it. So we've got one on top, one on bottom. I'm getting our Merkabah fields going here. Okay, and imagine yourself standing inside of this golden pyramid, one on top, one on bottom, and I want you to get them spinning in opposite directions. So the one on top. Mine personally, as I'm spinning it right here, is spinning counterclockwise, and that my bottom one spins clockwise. I forget what the general rotation of them is, by the way. And sometimes you can flip them, they can spin the other direction. I want you to dive in and just follow whatever instinctually that you're feeling right now. Feel the spin, feel the stillness of you inside of that whirling spin, golden pyramids. And we're going to activate, re-engage that imagination again. So bringing in the golden light, the visual awareness of what we were experiencing, adding in the sound, getting the harmonic hum, that frequency, moving through the inner ears, feeling the buzz and the light in every cell of the body, engaging that feeling, being able to feel the light, feel the sound. And disappearing your human body now inside of this Merkabah field and just recognizing your awareness touching out to all of the corners of this sacred geometric shape. And experience yourself just as this awareness, this Merkabah field spinning. Remembering to engage all of the senses, all that you can. Light, sound, frequency. Holding it all in the awareness for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is really beautiful. What Spirit just brought into my awareness that we did was by activating the Merkabah field like that, you activate your ability to astral travel. I think I saw Haley Lynn in here earlier. Haley Lynn is a resonant dream specialist, the lucid mystic. And astral travel is our ability. So you can show up in their backyard, right? They're taking their dog outside at night, good pee before bed. You show up in their yard, you're like, what's up? I want to know what's going on. This is the idea of astral travel, is that your consciousness can leave the physical confines of your body, go experience other aspects of, we have free will, right? So you have free will to go experience other aspects of the galaxy, to go to family reunions. You can't bitch about not getting the invitation to the family reunion anymore, okay? Just get your ass in your Merkabah field. You're all fired up now. Go let me know how it goes. This is making sense to me as a safer, easier way to get playing in these energies and to go visit. Think of yourself as foreign exchange students with the other intergalactic beings, okay? So you can go over to their side of the pond and hang out a little bit, and you learn about their customs, and then once they realize that you're okay, they come visit you at your house. You bring them in for dinner, all right? Thank you guys so much for joining me, having a little fun with me. How many of you guys learned something today? How many of you guys had fun? I had fun hanging out with you. It's so special to be able to mix our sacred growth with a little laughter, with a little silliness, with a little profundity. Haven't made up a word in a while. That's always a good one. I thank you guys so much for honoring me and the way I show up and bring information through in my unique way. Thank you for allowing me to be very silly with you, yet taking me very seriously. This is a reflection of you taking yourself seriously, you taking this mission seriously, and being willing to have fun and play. That playful energy is truly medicine that will ignite. It's a catalyst energy that will ignite and give you the je ne sais quoi that you need to move forward. It's a forgotten love language. So I invite you guys, find more ways to play in your life. Show up, be silly, be profound, be you. For those of you who would like more guidance in your records, you know where to find me. And I'll see you right here again next week, Wednesday at 12 p.m. noon Pacific.